Welcome back everyone to my YouTube channel, and thank you for your continued support, and I hope that you find my videos useful and informational. You can also check my blog page via the link below. Now that you have access to Business Central, you have your data to play with or demo data, you may be wondering, Business Central has too many fields and information that I do not need just to do my work. Or that you have to scroll through just to find what you're looking for within a page. Well, you're probably curious, how can you personalize or customize your pages that suits your workflow? So stick around and I will show you how easy it is to personalize your pages in Business Central, allowing you to be more efficient. Now, before we start, I would like to take a moment to help you understand the differences between personalization and design. You'll notice there's going to be two of them. If you are coming from Dynamics Nav, this video should help you easily transition in how to personalize your workspace to suit your work and preferences. Let's start with the design. Design is a functionality in Business Central that is only available or accessible from Sandbox. The design function is intended only for administrator and or developers, as there are implications when you are utilizing this function. It can cause unintended issues where your organization may not want a user to overpopulate or out of standard extensions that affects everyone within your organization. Now, personalization, on the other hand, is a feature that is available for all users, depending on, of course, permissions and roles. This allows individuals to personalize their workspace and their preferences without affecting anyone else within the organization. This is isolated to the individual only. Personalization function allows you to personalize the fields, columns, parts, style, action, or page part. There's also an ability for quick entry, allowing the user to quickly jump to the next field that they may need to populate without to tab through all the other fields. So without further ado, let's go ahead and go through a very easy way to personalize your pages, your workspace, without involving a developer. So first things first, anything and anywhere in Business Central you can personalize. So for example, if you are a in order entry page, so if I open up a sales order or even a list you can also personalize. So for example, I'm in a sales order list. There's certainly a lot of fields here and columns that I may or may not need. So for example, maybe I want to get rid of assign user ID. I may not care too much about the location code, and there may also be additional fields that I want to be available here. So accessing their personalization page is clicking this gear button for settings. And you see there's a button here called personalize, or a menu or a link here for personalize. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And you have this little pop-up bar at the very top, and there's a plus field. Now, if you don't need to add a field, you don't click the plus field. You can just hover any of the columns that you want to hide. So you see this little triangle, this red triangle. If I click on this button, I have a few options. I can set a freeze pane, and I can also move or hide this field or exclude it from quick entry. So what I wanted to do is I want to hide this field. I don't really care to see the assigned user ID. I just want to see it from the list view, enough information that I need to quickly identify that order in particular. So whatever that workflow is going to look like for you, adjust it according to your needs. In this case, I don't need an assigned user ID on this field, on this list. I can go ahead and hide it. So as soon as I hide it, it's going to disappear from my view. It's no longer there. And I may need everything else, right? Completely shipped, amount shipped, not invoiced. I need all of those. And of course, the status is open or release. I do want to add a few more fields or columns here, maybe one column. I want to know what the payment terms is for this particular customer. So I can go ahead and click the plus sign. And as soon as that, once I click that, you'll have a column menu that shows up. And so all these fields here are not necessarily all the fields within the table. It is, or are, fields that is available for that page, right? So if you do need additional fields added to the page so you can choose from, you may need to get a developer involved, or you go through a design process. So in this case, I am looking for payment terms. I can go ahead and just search for that. Otherwise, you can search for or scroll through all the different fields for that page that's available for you. So in this case, I just need to know the payment terms code for this customer, for this list. So I can go ahead and highlight what I'm looking for and just drag it over to whichever column I want. So in this case, I want it right there, right after the customer name. So I can see that visibility right there. Additionally, you notice that there's what they call what is page part or fact box. You can also customize this one as well. So for example, if I don't need to see the balance as vendor, I can go ahead and hide that. I no longer need to see that field. I can also, maybe hide the fax number. Maybe there's not too many people use fax anymore. So I don't really need to see that. It's just taking up space. I can go ahead and also hide that as well. Everything else looks like I may need that. Looks like I need everything else here. So you can also hide additional things as well. Maybe the whole entire fact box. If you don't need that, you can hide the entire thing. But in this case, I want to keep most of this stuff, just specific fields here. So once I am done, you just click the done button, and you pretty much have a workspace for that particular page meeting your needs. So when I go back out, navigate to the sales order once again, you can see that it retained all my information. It got my payment terms. I no longer see the assigned user ID. I added that, I removed some of those things here, which fax number is no longer there because I don't need it. Balance by vendor is no longer there. So it's going to meet my requirements, which is allowing me to be more efficient in seeing what I only need to see for my particular role or for my own personalization requirements to make me more efficient. So you don't have to click through many places. Otherwise, what you would have done is have to open each of this card and see the payment terms, or go to the customer card and see their payment terms, and makes it difficult to get things done. And you don't have to have a developer. Some ERP solutions out there, you would have to get a developer to make that visible. All right, so that's from a list view. Let's go ahead and take a look at the card. So if I open up one of these orders, and you'll see that these would be a page for this particular record. There are certainly a lot of fields here that I may not need. So when I minimize that, this is kind of my quick entry, right? My quick entry is the ones that are I need to see visibility at all times. Show more, these are your additional fields that you need. And all of this area right here, and anything within this page, you are allowed to personalize. You can hide, move things around, even to your page actions right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's make some changes against this page. I can go ahead and personalize. And I'm going to move a few things. For example, I may not care for campaign number, so I can click on this triangle, this red triangle, and I can hide. You can also show always, or show when collapse, and of course exclude from quick entry. So show always means that it's when I'm minimizing this, right? It's always going to show here, or only show up when I am expanding the field. So, all right, so I'm going to move the campaign. I don't care for that. Now it's gone. Maybe I don't care about the opportunity number. I'll hide that as well. And I don't see the facts here. I was hoping to see the facts. Maybe I want my email just to be a little bit above that. There you go. It's now to the right hand side. I can also take a look at some of these page actions here as well. For example, if I just need to print and send, I don't need any of these. I can go ahead and hide them. So email confirmation typically adds a PDF. So maybe I don't need to do attach as PDF. It's going to only confuse me. I can go ahead and remove that button. So I no longer need that. All right. So you can also do that from sub pages as well. So in this case, the lines. So I can go ahead and make some adjustments here. Maybe part of my process is making sure that I enter the location. Right. Let's see. Maybe after here, my item cross-reference may need to just be over here. And maybe I need my quantity way up front right after I enter my item number. So I want to go ahead and make those changes. Everything else looks like I will need. So there's a lot of options here for me to choose. Like for example, I maybe don't care about the currency code. I'm only dealing with USD because you don't want to accidentally put a value in there and it cause you some headaches down the road. So I can go ahead and hide this. And maybe I need external document to show always in there. So I can go ahead and make some changes. So again, the point is that there's a lot of capability for you to customize the look and feel. Also my fact boxes for the sell to customer sales history. Maybe you don't do ongoing sales credit memos. I want to remove that. I don't want it to confuse me. Don't really care for this. Me, don't really care. Well, maybe I need to see posted sales invoices, posted sales return receipts. Okay, so that's all I need. I already made the changes here. All I have to do is click done, or you can make additional changes. For example, I need to add a field. So I can click field. And it looks like, oh, that's from, you notice that this is going to change based on where you're clicking on what's available. So right now I'm on this fact box. If I click here, you see there's more options for this page for the field that's available for me to add to my sales line. So for example, I may need to add a unit of measure. So I can add a unit of measure. Oops, maybe right there. So there is my unit of measure. So there's piece in case you need to, sell it in different unit of measure. Maybe I need to make that visible. Originally it was not there. And let's go back to general area. Let's see what's available. Posting description, language, campaign, Shopify order number, risk level. So it looks like everything looks good. I may not need your reference because I already have external document. I can go ahead and hide that. Don't care about the assigned user ID. I can go ahead and hide that as well. So kind of just minimizing what I need to see, what cares and what I care about, what matters to me most. So at this point, it looks good. I can go down here as well if I need to have additional information, or my sales line. I think I have everything I need. Let's make sure I don't have anything else. Yeah, I think it looks, variant code, if you're using variant code. Obviously it's not part of my option here. So maybe I need to make sure that not only I have my unit of measure. Come on, scroll over to the right, left. I need to make sure I capture the variant code in case you do have some variant codes. You want to make sure that your users or yourself don't miss that. So at this point in time, I can just go ahead and click done. And that is it. So if I go ahead and close this out and reopen the code. Now it's instant, by the way. I'm just illustrating that your changes, you retain your changes as well. So your reference is gone. It's no longer there. We made a lot of changes in the sales line. So my location is much closer. with my quantity closer after my item. So when you're entering this item, typically you enter an item. Um, let's see here. This needs to be item. Oh, I gotta refresh it. This happens to me. I think a lot of people fall for that, so I have to reopen. So now my reopening. So I'm gonna choose an item here. Let's choose this item, and as it, yep, ship date's fine. If I tab over, I know I can enter the quantity. So you have this kind of flow as you enter. Oh, my num lock is stuck. That's why I was jumping everywhere. There you go. And if I need to capture location, I enter my location. Just hit tab and be able to, add your values without having to kind of click away as you just continue to tab, click whatever value you need to enter. So that is the wonderful thing about personalization. Now, there are times when you have some issues where personalization causes things to disappear. You don't know what you had in there. You can clear your personalization under your account. We do recommend that you're careful around that because you may clear somebody else's personalization. You may want to get an admin involved, or if you're comfortable with it, you can certainly clear your personalization. So other than that, I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you again for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something from it. And if you have any questions, leave a comment. Like the video and check out my blog. Other than that, and see you guys next time.